Hello my spooky friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be making a traveler's notebook, but for Halloween. So this is a recycled book that I've covered, and I thought it would be fun to make a traveler's notebook style journal. And a traveler's notebook, for those who are unfamiliar, is basically you buy a cover that has an elastic like this on the spine, and then what you do is you buy inserts to go in that fit underneath the elastic, just like this. So then what you can do is you can finish up these pages, you can do whatever you like with these pages, write on them, glue on them, and then when this insert is full, of course you would just put this away, tuck it away somewhere, and then get another one, maybe something like this with orange paper, in this case for Halloween, and you just tuck it in up underneath again at another time, and you have a brand new set of pages to work with, but of course your cover is still the same. Now, I've never done this before, and as a general rule, I am not a user of traveler's notebooks. But it occurred to me not that long ago that this would actually be a really fun thing to have. If you're somebody that, depending on how you journal or how you junk journal or, you know, put pen to paper, I thought this was kind of a fun idea because you can, so wait, this, first of all, this is coffee dyed paper and printed paper that I put together that I thought just had an interesting look inside of this journal. But you could do anything, really. And I just sewed, I think there's 15 pages in this. I just sewed it down the middle and tuck it up in there. And voila, you have a Halloween-themed traveler's notebook type of Halloween journal. I've tried to start, this is my fourth time trying to put the beginning of this video together because it sounds a little bit awkward. Okay, so it's a Halloween journal, check, but it is a traveler's notebook style system. I guess is the word I'm looking for. Check. So anyways, what I did was I went to one of the thrift stores in town and I bought myself some hardcover books, and I got 3 of them. And I thought they would be fun to experiment with and see if I could come up with essentially what is a traveler's notebook, but for Halloween. And I did, and I really like it. And so I wanted to share it with you because I think it's something that's super easy, and it was a lot of fun, and that's the most important part. And then I like the idea that you could change out your papers. So you could write in it for this year, right? Do whatever you're going to do for 2025. Then you could tuck this away and wrap it up in brown paper or whatever and write 2025 on it. And then if you're like me and you think Halloween is every day, then I would come back, put another insert of papers in it and use it throughout the year for whatever, you know, reason you wanted to use it for. And then you would just keep changing the inserts on and off all year. Or you could take the insert out, tuck it away, and then bring this out for next year and use it again if you were so inclined for another Halloween journal. Now, this one I made with black paper and these transfers, these gold transfers. If you would like to see me make a version of this journal, I have the video up on my Halloween channel, and my Halloween channel is called Where Midnight Looms, and I will leave that link down below, and you can go ahead and watch me put a version of this together. Honestly, they're super fast. They're really easy. You just basically have to, you know, figure out what papers you want to use to glue and what you would want to do on the cover, like any other journal that you would make. So, but what we're going to do with this one in this video today is I want to do something a little bit different in the sense that I have these papers here and I want to do a bit of a collage. Like I'm just going to rip out a few pieces of paper, and we're going to glue them down and go from there. So now I want to just mention something about the books that I bought. I chose these books because of their size and their width. I didn't want to have anything that was too big because I didn't want my signature to be, you know, to have to figure out how to sew a whole bunch of papers together. This is either 12 or 15 pieces of paper, and I just stitched them on my sewing machine, and it worked out great. This is only 10 pieces. Now, of course, having the coffee dyed paper in this certainly bulks, like you can see the difference, right? It bulks it up. But I didn't want a spine that was more than 3/4 of an inch wide. So these books are, this is 8 1/4 by 5 1/4, and this one was 7 1/2 by 5. And this spine is just a tiny bit more than 5/8, and this one here is 1/2 inch. Now you could do it, you could do a shorter book if you wanted to, but you know, I wasn't going to be particularly fussy about the height. It was just more the width that I was concerned about. So let's go ahead and talk about taking the books apart and painting the cover. These are the 3 books that I chose from the thrift store. The one, Understanding Love, is the one that we're going to be working with today, and the pink one is the one that I used for the prototype. So I've got my sanding blocks out here, and I made sure actually that book, the print wasn't raised or in any way sort of like quote-unquote 3D before I bought it. So I'm sort of thinking here, you know, we're just going to give it a good sand. This book, this is again the one with I used for the prototype. The more I sanded, the more this film came off. If anybody has any tips or tricks as to how to paint books so that the paint doesn't come off, I would love to know, and I'm sure the viewers would love to know too. So please do leave your handy tips down in the comments section down below. That would be very helpful. So then the book that we're using today, I'm just going to cut out the pages. This X-Acto knife that I'm using, I have to admit, it's a little bit dull. It's not the sharpest, only because I tend to be, yeah, see, I'm checking to make sure I didn't cut through the spine. I tend to be a little bit heavy-handed with the knife, as I am with the glue. So sometimes I use a blade that's not exactly the sharpest so that I don't just pierce right through the spine. Now, I pull off all the paper on the inside, and I'm not really sure why I felt the need to do that, because I probably really didn't need to. I could have left it on there and then just covered it up with the paper that I used for the inside of this journal. So here I am painting. This is just some dark gray acrylic paint that I had lying around from other projects. And, well, we all know how this turned out. Not so great. And in fact, I did go over it with black gesso, thinking that maybe the black gesso would help, but that didn't help at all. So once I realized that the paint wasn't going to hold on the cover, and it didn't hold on any of them. So that's when I decided that I didn't want to run the risk of me scratching it when I was using it. So then sadly I was like, okay, the acrylic paint just wasn't going to work, and I needed to cover them. So that's when I decided to go ahead and I used black paper to cover this one. And then I thought it would be interesting then if we took these papers that I printed off, and I'm a huge fan of having, oops, come on ruler, the ripped edges. So I guess, so the thing what I've decided to do with this one is I want to have the papers long enough that I want them to wrap around like this, and then I will go in with some other paper and we're going to glue over top like that, right? So the idea is First, I'm going to glue on my pieces of paper. I was sort of thinking something like this. And then I'm going to put the black tape over the spine once I put the papers on the front and the back, because I want the edge of the bookbinding tape, I think. Maybe I don't. Now that I've looked at it, I think I'm going to do this first. And then I'm going to put the bookbinding tape on the inside here as well. And then I'm going to use my crocodile to put the eyelets in here and here. And that's pretty much it. It's very easy. So okay, now let's put the book tape. I'm running low, so I want to be a little bit careful here. Let's go a little bit. So the key for me with getting the book tape was fitting it in the grooves. So let's stick that on here. Now, pretty much everything that I'm using here, I got on Amazon. So the tape came from Amazon, the crocodile, it all came from Amazon. Okay, so let's just, yeah, see, that's just, what a bummer about I thought having done all the sanding and doing all the stuff with the tape all the sanding would have really made it so that the tape stuck to the book. But of course it has not. Now I've got these stuck together. Don't stick, don't stick. Okay. This tape sometime has a mind of its own, let me tell you. Okay, so let's get it nice, really rub it in there, get it in the groove. I used my bone folder with the other one, and that really helped. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this in here. Now, when I originally did the first one, I actually went in and put a little tiny bit of cardboard in here, and I was thinking I wanted to fill this groove back in. But when I went in to put the grommets in, it was too thick. So I ended up having to take the bit that I glued in here out. And in reality, it's not like I'm stitching in signatures, so you don't need it. So we're just gonna stick this in here, and then what we'll do is we're gonna take another piece of the book tape. Once I see, just like that. There. I really like using this tape. There, that looks great. Okay, so now we're going to take another shorter piece and try and get this centered so that it looks like I know what I'm doing. And put that in there, just like this. And work it into the groove a little bit so that your book can open and close with ease. Yeah, see, that's plenty thick. And it'll be easy enough to get the grommet through there. So actually, let's do that now. Because I don't need to have all the paper or anything on. We're just going to use the crocodile to go right in there. I got my handy dandy white pencil here, and I'm just going to mark. I don't think it really matters. Although, let's make sure it's in the middle. Measure twice, cut once, as they say. There's that there. And about there. I'm putting them up about 1/2 inch from the bottom. So we're going to use a 3/16 grommet, and I got these in here that I'm using. And again, I got these on Amazon. So they're a little bit bigger than the ones I would normally use. And I'm not going to worry about having the ones that have the little washers on the back. I'm just going to squish those right in there. Okay, so let's get this in underneath here. I'm sorry that you can't really see this exactly, but I'm just going to punch the hole. That looks about right. Oh yeah, there we go. So there's the first one there. Goes through nicely. It's a little bit fiddly because you can't, it doesn't lie, like because of the way the spine is and the tape and everything, it's not lying perfectly flat. And it does, sometimes it can be a little bit sticky because of the tape. But there we go. I actually think I got those right in the middle. That's good, that's good. Okay. Now we're going to put the grommet through here. And I'll just pop this one in here so I don't lose it. There we go. That one will be nicer. Okay, so then we're just going to put it down here and smush it in like that. Ta-da! And then we'll do this one here. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now the fun part. Let's glue down and figure out what we're going to do. Now, the one thing I did want to mention was before I made this as my prototype, I originally thought I wanted to use cardstock to cover the front. Once I realized that the paint was a no-go, I did get out some Halloween cardstock, but I have to admit I found it very difficult to wrap it and fold it and get the corners nice and sharp. And so against my better judgment, I went back to paper, but I found that the paper glued on easier, and I found that the paper really did wrap around a lot easier and a lot nicer than the cardstock. So it's kind of up to you what you would want to use. And I'm using up some stuff that I've had lying around. And I do have a lot of paper. Nope. I quite, you know what? I thought I was going to do a collage, but I don't know. Maybe I just kind of like this. And then maybe I just put an H or a die cut on here. How much? Oh, I got quite a bit to play with. This kind of changes everything. Let me just see here if I rip. You know what? I think I'm just going to do this. And then maybe we'll just do the collage on the back cover. And by collage, I mean ripping pieces of paper and just gluing random pieces of paper. Do I have? Yep, that's going to work. It's a little bit tighter than what I wanted, but okay. So actually, you know what? Let me just fold it like this. And then I fold it like this. And you guessed it. I fold it like that. So that would be the front. We could do something like that. I mean, she gets a little bit lost in there, but that's kind of fun. I have a ton of black numbers that I've die cut. But the question is, these are too big, I guess, to do 2025, and I'm not seeing any 2s or 5s. Oh, but I have, wait a minute, I do see oh no, hang on here. Could do something like that. That's okay, this is taking a totally different direction than what I thought we were going to do. But that I don't mind. That's actually quite fun. So the question is, do I just do something and simple and leave the hat very, very simple? What else have I got here? I do have, hang on. You're like, it's no fun if we can't see you rummaging through your stuff. That's very true. Half the reason we watch these videos is so we can look into other people's stuff. Now here's a cauldron. Nope. I have this shoe. The only thing is, now that I'm looking at the die cuts, I like this paper, but it's not exactly popping. Now, where's that? See, my original idea was to do like 2 or 3 strips of paper. But again, that's right. And then, but I'm somehow getting emotionally attached to this here. So if I put the witchy poo there, is that... I do kind of, I like the witch, I'm not going to lie. That maybe what's throwing me off just a teeny tiny bit is that is kind of big. The 31, maybe, now I could do something maybe more like this. Ooh, I quite like that. So I went and found a number 31 that's just a little bit smaller, so I think that works better. But as I'm standing here looking at this, I feel like she's kind of lost. So in the interest of experimenting, I got this paper with the bugs on it that I've had for a while, and I thought, let's just try this and play with this. Now I'm trying to, I want to position it so that this big, fat, juicy one is right there. But I want the edge of this paper to just barely go over the tape. Okay, so let's put this here for a second. Oh, see, I think she pops better on a darker or a lighter background. But it's still kind of busy, isn't it? Like, it's good. I like it. Okay, maybe she's too... Let's go back. You know what? As far as die cuts go, I'm happy with... I'm happy with any of these combinations, to be honest, because I think they're all super strong. But I am just wondering if, see, even something like that's, ooh, I like that. That's kind of fun too. So let me just show you because I'm kind of getting off. I'm going off on a crazy tangent, which is no big surprise to those of you who know me. So I was thinking, let me just rip. Now I'm going to do it like that, but I don't want it to be a straight line. So originally I had it envisioned that I would do something like this, because I liked the idea of, let me just sort of fold these over so we get a better idea of what we're looking at. There. You know what? I like this. I like this a lot. This was what I originally had in mind when I had brought out these other pieces of paper to start with. I think a lot of things. I mean, even the broom could just go there. Okay, I like that. And I do, but that looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Like the shoe. No, that's all right. All right, let's put our 31 here and see what we think. Ooh, I think I'm kind of liking this. You know what, my lovely friends? Oh. This goes against the rule of 3. No, I like the way that the cauldron fills in this here. And that 31 sits there just perfectly. You know, maybe that's what we're going to do. The question is, do I get the broom? Kind of like to fit this broom in here somewhere too. But maybe not. You just can't have it all. You know, you just can't. Okay, now just before we could stick that up there, let's just see. That's pretty good, isn't it? Now, if I put her... No, I'm really losing... I feel like I'm losing her. Don't mind that up there. Then that maybe that's how I get the broom. Oh, okay. Okay. I think we have a winner chicken dinner, my friends. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's fun. Okay. Let's glue it down. So first we're going to glue down our bug paper. And I wanted to just, now make sure you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Which is nothing fancy, nothing, you know, but really the big thing for me at that point was getting the placement of the bugs just where I wanted them. Now, the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to pinch this paper a little bit like this. We're going to fold it down on a bit of an angle here. And there's no, you know, rule or dimension or measurement or anything. Because what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back. And by tucking in the paper here and like creating this little sort of pinchy spot here. And then here, same thing. When I fold it over, when I'm gluing it, we're going to get these really nice, sharp, crisp corners here as well. So yeah, that looks great. Okay, so now I'm going to use my 3-in-1. So first I'm just going to go along the edge here. And we're just going to glue, where's my crease here? So I am just gonna, well, now it doesn't matter so much because the polka dots are gonna go over top of this one. But I'm just going over the bookbinding tape just a tiny bit. I'm gonna push it down, fold that up, and just double check. Yep, that looks good. So give it a good rub. Okay, now I'm just going to go in here. So I say it every video. Where did September go? If anybody could leave in the comments section and give me a plausible explanation of what happened to September. I swear, one day I woke up and it was August the 28th. And the next day I woke up and it's, you know, I feel like I've been in a coma for a month. I can't, it's just so strange to me. September just zoom. Like I want a do-over. I'm feeling a little gypped. Not gonna lie. And part of the problem, I don't know about wherever you guys are, but here, I'm 2 hours west of Toronto. It is so hot here. We still have the air conditioning on, which is absolutely, positively insane for this time of the year. But today it was 27 degrees. Yesterday, it was 26. Like, I mean, it's so hot. I don't even want to work on my Halloween decorations outside because it's so hot. It doesn't feel, it's not sweater weather is what I'm trying to say. It does not feel like autumn at all. The leaves are falling and they're, you know, everything is happening that way like it should. But seriously, it's too hot. I want to wear my scarves and my heavy socks. I haven't even switched out any of my summer clothing yet. I'm looking at my fall flannel pajamas, dying to get into those. It's just, I'm like, okay, Mother Nature, you gotta let go. It's time. It's time for autumn. Okay, so now we're just gonna flip that like that. And hold that down and press that down. There, that gives us these nice, really nice, sharp corners. That was one of the problems that I had with the cardstock. It wouldn't give me a nice corner. You know, what's a journal without a nice corner? You have to have a nice corner. Okay, so now we're gonna do this. Nope. Oh yeah, I love that. That's going to be great. Okay, so let's glue this on here. I mean, I had all kinds of laundry out on the line today, and it dried with like in an hour. So I think that's part of it. I think my brain is like still in summer mode because it feels like summer. It doesn't even feel outside. It doesn't even feel like September. It still feels like mid-August. Except now that it's dark at 7:30, and I absolutely love that. I know I'm in the minority with this, but I do love the early darker nights. But, you know, it's because it's supposed to be cozy. You're supposed to be snuggling under blankets on a chilly autumn night, drinking hot tea. Instead, we're walking around in summer pajamas with the air conditioning on, sweating. Okay, that's great. Okay, so now that we've got the front, let's quickly do the back. And let's see what's gonna go. That's not too bad. Oh, okay, here we go. To keep it little color coordinated, so I'm gonna need something that's a little bit wider to wrap around, like this way here. So if I was to commit to that, that's not so bad. The blacks are a little bit off. What else do I have? Maybe something like this and this. That's pretty good. I feel like this is just too straight. So let's just, I want it to be on a bit of an angle. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so again, we're going to very quickly glue this paper on the front. Do I need all of that? I can rip a little bit of this off here. No, we're just needing that. Okay, so let me fold it so I know where to glue it here. And I've been asking around if anybody knows, if anybody's heard from the Farmer's Almanac people, what kind of winter we are to expect around here. Last year it was quite mild, so we got a ton of snow. And I mean, it was a proper old-fashioned winter around here last year. Ton of snow. Now, I've been hearing rumors that this year it's supposed to be super cold and very little snow. And I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, I love the snow. The snow is pretty. It's magical. And for me, there's nothing better in the wintertime. Make sure yes, you can see what I'm doing. When there's a ton of snowfall and everything is so silent and so quiet, because the snow acts as this amazing insulator, or like a buffer, if you will. It's really quite magical when everything is, it's almost like having earmuffs on, right? But having said all of that, you gotta shovel the snow. And that is not fun or magical in any way. Okay. So we'll do this. And we'll fold that down there. And fold that down there. And I'm quite determined that I'm going to make some sort of cheese. Or no, sorry. Oh boy, that was a Freudian slip. I was going to say I want to make some sort of autumn soup. And it came out cheese soup. I guess you know where my brain is. Cheese it is. I've never made an actual apple soup, but I was thinking, because I like apples and I like cheese, it might be fun to try and make like a apple cheese soup, maybe with a tiny bit of sweet potato in it. Did I already glue that down? Looks like I did. I'm not paying attention. And add, like, make it like a puree. And have it so that it's like a creamy, really super creamy cheddar cheese and apple soup. And I thought that would be a lot of fun. So I'm actually, I haven't found a recipe. I'm going to be looking for one this week and see. I've had apple soup maybe once or twice. And I remember thinking it was better than I thought. Only in the meaning that I thought it would be super sweet. But I think that the one that I had, the person had, or the place where I had it, they'd added sweet potato. I'm an okay cook. I'm not very good at being experimental, in the sense that I know what I know, but I'm not very good at throwing things together and understanding this flavor goes with this and this flavor does that. My husband can do that, but I can't do that. And so I don't really, you know, it makes sense that sweet potato would go good, but I can't tell you exactly why. But I'm sure there's some sort of palate-pleasing reason. That looks great. Why sweet potato would be good, or is a good combination. Okay, so this is going to be the last for the outside. And then we're going to put the stencils on the front, or the die cuts, sorry. And then we'll do the inside, of course. I think this is a fun alternative to making your ordinary everyday junk journal with a book. While I've got the beacon out here, let's put something. Oh, I dug this one out for the front. Oh yeah, she fits perfect. Look at that. I love that. And then I had this full moon scrap here. And we're going to put this out there. So first of all, let's glue. Oh, which one? That one's quite spooky. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. And I got my handy dandy, oops, sorry. My handy dandy gum eraser here to get this glue off right away. And I like how it also works on this book tape really easily too. Okay, I'm loving this, you guys. I think this looks great so far. Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm going to put the elastic in. So then I'm just going to feed this elastic through here, and I'm going to tie it. You know, where you would put the knot of the elastic, I think would just be a personal preference. You know, you could just have it in the middle of your signature, just like you would a regular. Like you would do with a signature. Oh yeah. And I kind of like how that fits or sticks out the side a little bit. Okay, so it's the next day. I had to go and do some stuff yesterday before I got all of this finished. I went ahead and glued this die cut of the skull on the back, which I really quite like. And then I went ahead and I did the cauldron already, and I glued the shoe on. And I wanted to take some time to make sure that I really liked where everything is. And I do. So let's go ahead and get these glued on. So we're going to do the broom and then the cat. and the 31, and then we'll get this finished up. I am loving this. This looks fantastic. So we've got all the witch accoutrements, as we like to say. On the back down. Okay, so let's get the insert in, and we can call this a day, my spooky friends. Just get this tucked right up underneath here. It's a little bit of a longer video than normally I would do, but I wanted to show you all the steps so that you could see exactly what I had done and how. I'm glad I chose this. I love this side. I hope this will inspire you to give this a go for yourself. If you have any questions, by all means, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll help you however I can. You know, the best part about it is that it doesn't take a lot, meaning you just need a book, you've got some scrap paper, some elastic. You could probably even use ribbon for this. It wouldn't have to be elastic if you didn't have it. It's a great way to use up scrap papers here in the insert or the signature, and have some fun doing something a little bit different and playing around. And if you don't have the book tape like I do, you could use paper. Just make sure you really go in there and get that tucked in nicely in the groove there for yourself. So my lovely spooky friends, I'm going to leave it there. If you like this video, please do give it a little thumbs up, and I would be most appreciative. Again, if you would like to see me do this version with the black paper and the gold transfers, then go to, I'll leave the link below at my Halloween channel where Midnight Looms. And if you are a Halloween fan, I hope, I hope that you will join me over there. I'm going to be doing like some daily blog posts and giving you sort of the behind the scenes of me decorating the front lawn and doing all the outdoor decorations as we move forward towards the best day of the year, in my opinion. So, as I say at the end of every video, speak kindly to yourselves, enjoy your journal process, and until the next video, thanks so much everybody for spending time with me. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye. Hi. What's going on? Oh, no way. Really? And then what happened? Yeah, then what happened? Did you see butterflies? Did you see butterflies? Yeah.